Hi, fight fans. You know what time it is. If you don't, okay, well, let us tell you. What time is it, Alutier?
Today is our monthly fight night.
Yay!
Our, our AI competitors have been trained to duke it out for supremacy,
Over three
and you
games.
and you get to bet on it. I'll be right back.
Ah, Brambo. Hello. Hello. So, today's fighting game is going to be Killer Instinct. This is the 2010? 2000. Let me check it out. Let me access my memory for a moment. You trained Riptor yourself? Well, let's hope that she's ready to fight then.
I knew Bramble would be excited for Riptor.
Right? This is the 2013 remake.
Indeed.
So this was done by Double Helix under the supervision of Ken Love. Nobody cares about any of that. What matters is that this game was rebuilt from the ground up lovingly and is blisteringly fast. This is going to be one of the fastest fighting games that we've got. We've been clocking it. These fights have been going at 2 minutes, so we're thinking that we might run Darkstalkers after this.
Most
It's
likely.
most likely it's we're gonna see what comes, but we're gonna run it the way we normally do it. We're gonna do our intro. We're gonna talk a little bit about our fighters. Alutier is gonna tell us a little bit about their gimmicks,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna put the minute up on the clock, and you boys are gonna bet it out. We're gonna bet it out. You do like the
Everyone loves the betting
Battletoads?
part, right?
Everybody loves the betting part. And everybody loves Battletoads. So without
Until you're playing Battletoads.
until you're playing Battletoads co-op. So, to get it started, to get it going, our first competitor. I wish they would have put these guys in. I think they're released in.
They are actually organized by release season.
Yes, they are. Omen.
So we have Omen, and who was Omen against?
Omen is going to be versus Kilgore.
Oh, all right. So Omen's big thing is that he has fireballs that he cannot control the Arca, which means both you and your opponent must adapt to some potentially wild fireball patterns. Whereas Kilgore is a character that starts out as a zoner and must either manage their meter to avoid overheating, or shift to hard rushdown, which will explain more in depth once the fight starts. Lore-wise, Omen is the herald of our main antagonist, Gargos, a spirit that can possess a foe and make them do Gargos' bidding as a result. Whereas Kilgore is a prototype
Oh man, I got
of the
this, I
far
got this, I
more.
got this, I got this.
Alright.
Alright. Kilgore is a prototype of the Fulgore system, while Kilgore Fulgores have their human cybernetic brains wiped. Kilgores were built with more AI and criminality built into them. They are the first step on the way to the cyborg that would be Fulgore, and as such, they are outdated. This Kilgore, as you can see, has rust and looks like he's about to fall his ass apart. Well, that's because he's part of the front line of the Kilgores that was put into frozen storage, and this motherfucker's decided that he's going to kill every fucking person here to prove that he is superior to the Fulgore system. Kilgore! That's who I'm betting on, by the way. If I have 5 code bucks that I was allowed to bet, I'd bet on Kilgore. Alright. 1 minute or 2 minutes, do you think?
We can believe do 2 minutes.
2 on the clock. Get betting. So it's a Damie? Exactly. I can appreciate Kilgore's style. I can appreciate Kilgore's system. And I am a sucker. And I mean an absolute sucker for anything that's got 2 fucking chain guns strapped to its arms. We learned this though when we were doing the fights for Gundam. And I expressed, what? No. I said I can appreciate Kilgore's shit. I am not a robot, but if I had to side with robots, any side that has a Kilgore, I'd be bros with. So, what do we got? We got Kilgore, we got Omen. My bucks is on Kilgore. Alright?
I'm certainly more fond of Omen.
Murderbot. Let's go. As we found out during the Gundam matches, I like Heavy Arms because Heavy Arms has chain guns.
Fair.
Although he had chain guns with conventional bullets when dealing with something made out of Gundanium alloy doesn't really work as well. This is why Heavy Arms gets punked so much when he's in these fights. But his guns made really fun noises. And I've got to be real honest, these guns are going to make some fun noises too.
Well, sometimes this game is just absurdly good all around.
This is the remake, revitalization of this game, and as such, everything from the soundscape to how the characters to look to how everything sounds, there's just so much love put into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Make sure that our boys are on... Make sure our boys on Max Brutality. Max Brutality. Because we're going to randomize where they're coming from. Now, blink and you'll miss it. This game is really combo focused.
But in a very unique way.
Bow before the Herald of Gargus.
So as you can see, there is a combo breaking system in the game, which is meterless. You can break every combo if you know what you're doing. The problem is, tricky to learn.
Even when somebody comes after you with their shadow ass bullshit, you can break that fucking combo.
Yes, you can. As you can see, Omen is utilizing projectiles rather heavily. But it really doesn't mean much when Kilgore can just throw out projectiles freely.
Well, Kilgore's guns are lit up. We were moving into beat 'em up territory. This game also has throws. Are you gonna block? Are you gonna turtle? Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Kilgore just taking it to him.
Because I think... So it seems that Kilgore is able to constantly maintain the impression that can prevent Omen from really driving where it wants to. Because Omen is, in many ways, not having a very short set of memory serves. He's very much a zoner in heart. Means that people can get in the first place.
His ass, Kilgore!
Omus is really unfortunately getting combos going. Every combo's being broken. Also, you notice, anytime tries to guard, he's facing chip damage.
Yep.
No ultra.
No ultra.
That's not
You
very
can
nice.
still do ultras in here, but no ultras here for us. Kilgore takes it. Alright, let's take a look here.
So Kilgore moves on, seeking to
Kilgore
exert
moves
its
on.
meaning for existence.
Omen hits the showers. Next up, the protagonist of the series, Jago.
Jago.
Now, when it comes to costumes, are we keeping these people in their Killer Instinct costumes for this generation? Or are we slapping them back into their originals?
I think let's do it on a counter-by-counter basis.
Alright.
For Jago, I feel his modern is just so much nicer and more detailed.
This is true.
Because you shot the classic costume for a moment and showcase why we're not using it.
It's a little funklish. It's very 90s.
It's very 90s, but just this one sells his fantasy and his role better. He's the Tiger Warrior. Versus Maya.
What can you tell us about these two combatants?
Well, let's get the betting starting up as well, because that way we're betting a little bit in that time while we're doing this.
Okay, go
So,
for
Jago as the protagonist has no gimmick. There is no real flavor.
it.
It is
Betting
just
window is open.
he is a traditional Ryu style fighter who rewards your adaptability and just good fighting game sense.
Alright, Maya.
Maya, on the other hand, her two daggers can be thrown and then must be picked up again, or be used again. So it's about. But they are important for her for almost everything. They are her projectiles, they are her combo tools, they're her reversals. They are central to everything she does and must be managed appropriately as a result. Which makes positioning and the ability to move freely central to how Maya plays.
Jago's been with this game ever since it started. I cannot remember. I don't know. I think Maya might have been a KI Gold person, if ever.
Correct. Maya was introduced in Killer Instinct 2.
Yeah, Maya was like KI too. But fuck that bitch. We got our Tiger Warrior, bro. Alright, my bucks. My bucks, I think, are going on Jago. Jago's just your classic bro. He does classic bro shit. You're gonna go Maya?
Because-
Alright.
Because Jago is the classic chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
He's trained for this, and it's his time to shine. Whereas Maya is the queen of an Amazonian society.
Yeah, but where's her mask? Can you truly be considered a great ruler or a creature of great power without a mask?
Perhaps in some of the alternate costumes that we didn't explore.
There we go.
Lord Sling on your quality as a ruler there, brother.
out, you might get cut.
Very cool. Here we go.
If you've ever seen Shoto, you'll see many familiar moves in First Descent. You'll see Yaku's kick, you'll see his Shoryuken, you'll see his Fireball. He's really liking that Dragon Punch. Although I suppose here it's a Tiger Uppercut.
You know what? I might have been the only person who got that, and I'm still disappointed for an entire generation. Although he did effectively just rock Tiger Genocide. Ooh! And even within your powerful ultras, you have to be careful because the combo breaker is right around the fucking corner.
Exactly. And as you can see there, in order for Mayu to extend focus, she has to utilize daggers. She needs to use that land, and then she reclaims it.
You know, Injustice 2 has...
There's also the instinct system, which is a bit of a comeback mechanic. And I actually don't know what Lotoket's instinct does offhand. I have no idea why Jago glows, what the glowing provides for him. But it does something, and it makes him look very nice. Well conserved.
Barry Gordon's Slash Dragon, who just possesses the power of the glow.
Absolutely so, dude, because Jago is effectively our Ryu in this game. He has the exact same... He has the same core moves specials, but he has a sword here because he knows that it's kill or be killed. Ultra combo. Always so satisfying to see it come up.
Enjoy those daily emotes, including that daily booty.
And so our queen moves on to the next round. Welcome,
hey, Frozen. Welcome to Fight Night, Frozen. Maya moves on. Let's pay it out. All right. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Oh.
Next up is one of our guest fighters.
Arbiter!
The Arbiter.
Versus somebody. I assure you.
Mira!
Ah, Mira. This is actually very well timed.
Ew. There we go.
So, let's start with Mira. Mira is a vampire. The way they handled this was that Mira has the most explosive damage, second most explosive damage in the game. She also has exceptional movement. But all of the excessive things that Mira is capable of come at the cost of her own health, including an air dash, which I believe only Mira has in this game.
Betting window is open.
But even your air dash comes at the cost of your health. Arbiter, actually, his main gimmick points
Just a
are
fucking Halo
lifted
character.
from Halo.
He's just a fucking Halo character.
He has an overshield. He can end combos with sticky grenades for pressure on wake up. He can fire his carbine rifle.
Toyoshi, hello!
And interestingly, lore-wise, I mean, the Arbiter requires no introduction. If you know the Arbiter, you know the Arbiter. If you don't know the Arbiter, well,
Go play Halo.
go play Halo. Mira, however, is actually Maya's sister,
Ooh.
whom Maya thought to be dead long ago, but was saved by a vampire and turned into its next heir.
We're doing great, Toyoshi. We definitely got enough sleep.
And Mira believes herself abandoned and thus scornful. She seeks revenge. Will we get a battle decided by fate? Will we have the sisters duel it out?
I don't know where I'd put my cookies on this one. I feel like the Arbiter, as he was voiced by Keith David in the original series, deserves my attention and affection, but I don't think they got Keith David to do it here. So
They did
like,
not.
So like, this Arbiter can eat my ass. Alright? He's not Keith David.
I have faced the flood and silenced truth. I will quell your thunder and douse your flames.
Cool.
Have you confessed your sins?
Oh, there's his sword. Alright, we're getting bullets.
However, the bullets are finite if you look at the bottom left.
Ooh,
But also, as you can see,
those sticky grenades.
Mira is also very, very similar to the combo breaker system. Because she is burning her own health and not looking to truly cash in as a combo break.
Oh shit.
There's the overshield. And there's Mira dying partially to her own self-inflicted damage.
Can't be greedy, Mary. Can't be greedy. Now, Mira's health up there is the blackish gray part. That's what she's able to restore.
She does that grab specifically.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Any lead that Mira gets can be incredibly explosive. At the same time, the same can be said of the Arbiter, with he maintains pressure with his grenades.
Whoa. Mira needs to feed.
It's feed or kill. There's really no third option at this point.
Taking out. Oh, and
And-
the Arbiter makes quick work of Mira.
Another victory, yes.
Or Mira made quick work of
There's
Mira.
always another battle.
Or
Someone
Mira.
made quick work.
Someone made quick work of Mira here. The Arbiter moves on and Mira eats shit. Go home, Mira. Ah! Ooh, a good. It's real easy to hit the. Here we
Yes, it
go. Chief Thunder. Which Chief Thunder do we want?
Let's go with the default.
So Chief Thunder versus my favorite character. Original
Hey.
flavor? Nah. Clearly. So, I can tell you their lore, and Alatier will tell you their function. That really was the Arbiter.
It was, in fact, the Arbiter, yes. The Arbiter is one of the 3 guest characters in this game.
Saberwolf has been through a lot. A lot. So, cybernetics implanted in his body, holding the ancestral curse of lycanthropy. After losing and being enslaved by Ultratech, tears out his own cybernetics and decides that he is his own master. Chief Thunder, controlling the spirits and being guided on a vision quest to stop Ultratech from continuing to pollute and poison the land. Alatier, what do these 2 people do? And also the betting window is open.
So Thunder is intended to be our grappler style, but he's not really a traditional grappler. He's very combo focused. He's a heavy character who utilizes the range of his hatchets to really set up pressure for his grabs. Saberwolf, however, is our traditional rushdown character. He is in your face and he is relentless. He is... The question of whether he is man or beast is completely undetermined based on how he plays.
And he looks cool. Saberwolf, I always thought was one of my favorite designs. Even back when he had cybernetic claws, he was very cool. No, Chief, no Master Chief. In this case, I think it was Bungie or 343 that was doing it at the time. But
This was during the 343 era.
This is 343 era. The only time we've ever seen a Spartan in a fighting game was in Dead or Alive, and they're specifically 4. And specifically, they gave a different Spartan, not Master Chief.
Did you start up Neon White again, Toya? I will return momentarily, but I believe this match is not...
This match should speak for itself. You fell asleep to the menu music? Go to bed.
This is a very simple... These are 2 simple fighters. You can keep track of what they do very
Here
easily.
we go! The Wolf versus the Chief. Let's go.
Now at the moment.
Here we go. Again with those pressure with those hatchets, but you see, your Saberwolf is just on Chief Thunder's ass. Not that Chief Thunder is happy about it. Saberwolf busting out of pressure. A trying combo. Chief Thunder. There we go. There's the hatchet throw. Hatchet throw into a stomp. There we go. Another hatchet throw into a stomp. Chief Thunder trying to get this taken care of. Chief Thunder stomping the absolute shit. Alright, so what Saberwolf has done is activated a Bestial Rage, which is increases damage. Chief Thunder overcharging himself. Calling upon on the power of the ancient spirits, only to just start to absolutely dominate this fight. This is fucking brutal. Alright, we're moving into our last round. Chief Thunder coming in with a bit of the chop sake. Oh, he's ripping him up with chip down. Again, you're seeing that classic rushdown when it comes to Thunder and Power, going for that big old stinky stomp. Another one, another one. Saberwolf trying to come back. Ooh, beasting out. Holy shit, these two are down to the wire, unfortunately for Saberwolf. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go! Ultra combo!
Yo, yo. Awesome victory.
Who's winning? Chief Thunder takes it. Let's pay it out. The Chief takes it.
Alright.
Alright, Chief Thunder moves on after a hard fight. First it looked like there was absolute domination, then some back, then some forth, then some back, then some forth, and then Chief Thunder unloaded a patented can of whoop ass, ending with the ultra combo. We love to see it.
It is the best way to end Killer Instinct.
Sadira.
Sadira versus our frozen boy Glacius.
Glacius.
And there's only one true costume to put Glacius in, and that is his own flavor. Second Glacius, actually. Here we go. What can you tell us about these two fighters, Alutier, while I load up the betting machine?
So Sadira's gimmick is actually being an air combo fighter. Her ground chains don't really work as well as everyone else's. So she needs to launch them into the air to actually do all of her most potent combos. Whereas Glacius can combo you from a considerable distance. He is the
Starting up
zoner
the betting
archetype of
window.
the base roster from the first game.
And he's a goddamn ice alien.
True. He is in fact an alien.
He's the second of his type who crash landed to Earth, actually trying to find the original Glacius from the first game. Upon landing, much like the original Glacius himself, their bodies are weak and require a shell, and thus he created a shell from the frozen ice itself. Glacius is going to play like a classic, much like his classic Killer Instinct style. He's going to have some heavy hits. He's going to be able to hit you through the floor, you know, like a bitch. Versus somebody who likes to go in the air, that might be a little difficult for Glacius. Because they had the dichotomy between Glacius and Cinder, which was Cinder is was your second type of rushdown character. Second to Saberwolf. Betting's coming down. If I'm gonna have to go with my boy Glacius on this one. Ice Monster, gotta love him. Gotta love the Ice Monster. Elutier, if you... nope, you can't tell me, because you do have code bucks to place.
That I do. And I did place them, actually.
And you did place them, so I'm not going to ask where you put your code bucks until the very end when the window closes. Because where you put your code bucks and who you think is going to win are two very, very different things.
So technically, because I'm the equalizer, I make bets interesting. So my money by that virtue is on Sadira.
Excellent. Let's slap this monkey. Come on, Ice Monster! Especially because when they reworked Glacius's original costume, it was really good. Ice Monster! Combo breaker. Again, you're right. Glacius is gonna try and zone you out and then come in with that big old stinky uppercut.
Exactly, but Sadira's ability, Sadira's unique ability at the time to approach from the air means that any match against Sadira is very awkward if you don't have a very dedicated anti-air ability, such as Jaeger, which Glacius does not.
He does not. Ooh, Glacius has Dhalsim syndrome. So
At least the combo breakers.
Dhalsim syndrome comes from when you have a body part that extends, or you have an ability that causes your body to go, like a limb to extend, but that limb is in and of itself a hitbox. You've got a little bit of that going on.
Oh, Glacius is still alive for the time being because the finisher was not permitted yet. But as you can see, aside from those ice projectiles making it awkward, Sadira actually has free reign to approach.
Ooh!
Chip damage kill.
Chip damage! Did you pick the ice pack? Yeah, you did. Here we go. Spinny spin! And again, Glacius has so many attack opportunities. And his gimmick of his ice armor, which I think acts as super armor.
I believe it does give him some hits of super armor when he activates Instinct, yes. Which makes his zoning all the more terrifying.
Because
Also
then
very
you can't
fascinating.
knock him out of it. But, oh! Oh shit!
A combo finisher. Very nice.
Nice. Told you, he's gonna come in with that big old stinky uppercut every time he has the opportunity. Not to mention, Glacius is ooh, ice on
The armor.
I don't know if it's gonna help him though. Oh! Eat! Shit, it did! Glacius has interesting projectiles because they're fire and forget. They don't lock him into an animation. Alright, let's see. The ice monster takes it. Glacius moves on. Next up, we have Kim Woo. I like that in retro costume just changes a little bit of the top. Kim Woo versus my boy, your boy, motherfucking Spinal. We're gonna go with the simpler design just because it'll be easier to track. He's very busy here.
Indeed, but it does sell the pirate fantasy.
It does
As
sell the pirate
as opposed to just
fantasy.
skeleton.
Alright, what can you tell us about these boys?
So, Kimmel is a largely well-rounded character. One of the things that really defines her is her Rekka series and an instinct ability to fire dragons. So it drives both combo extenders and zoning tools and anti-zoning tools. Spinal, however, is a teleport rushdown. He wants to get in your face, but do so by pressuring you with nagging projectiles and free teleports.
The betting window is open. Get done with lunch, gotta finish the Plymouth. Plymouth! Spinal also is a fucking skeleton and therefore 10 times more awesome than anybody whipping around dragons. Although those dragons are nothing to fuck with. I don't
Much
know.
like Wu-Tang Clan.
Much like the. That came in so fast. So fast. So, the other thing is, I don't know Spinal's gimmick. I think his gimmick just might be the teleporting. I don't know. I know Glacius had the ice armor.
His gimmick is technically in his... It's not appreciable to the folks at home, unfortunately, because it affects his auto doubles.
Okay. What about Kimmy Cam Woo?
I think hers is mostly the Rekka series,
Oh,
other than the Dragon's Walling instinct.
So, for those of you at home, that comes into nothing that anybody who isn't a fighting game aficionado in this sphere would give a shit about. All we
Effectively.
need to do is know that skeleton and kung fu nunchuck chick
They both want to get in each other's face.
are gonna beat each other
What-
up.
One will do so by having longer combos and better pressure and neutral. The other one will be teleporting around.
The other one will be teleporting around. That's it. We're locked in, folks. Let's get it on.
Friggin' dragon. You can see how this ends, right?
Yeah, he was not impressed. Here we go. Oh! And Spinal Shield has the ability to absorb attacks. I forgot about that. It consumes special. Ooh, combo breaker for Kimmy, but Kim's gonna have to do a little bit better.
He needs an opening to restart the combo. Oh!
Damn! Yep. And so Spinal can consume those fireballs for debuffs or just shoot them. He just interrupted that dragon attack hard. Kimmy was refusing to go down. Well, good old punch to the ass would take care of that. Ooh.
Oh! That was a good throw, though. No
Fine
good
throw.
follow-up.
Kimmy down, Spinal up, still keeping his skulls.
Just a instinct attack, not very long.
Yeah, not for very long. Ooh, Spinal getting pushed into a corner. That's the problem with Spinal. Can't, even when he's in a corner, there's not much you can do against him. His ass will get out fast. Double combo, we got 6 on the board. Solid, we got 5 on the board. basic bitch combo. Kimmy needs an answer, and she has absolutely fucking none.
Look for the overhead kick trying to open them up, but just too well.
Damn. That was less of a fight and more of a rout. Spinal moves on, and Kimmy can go to hell. She's brought dishonor upon this most sacred of battlegrounds with her weak ass bullshit. TJ combo.
TJ combo.
Also another dude who ripped cybernetics out of his body.
What's the running trend with this game?
Hulk J combo. TJ combo going up against
Aria.
So do we want the default costume or do we want Iron Man? Actually, this is more Ultron.
Yeah, let's go with the Ultron costume.
Alright, first let's choose the outcome and give Spinal voters their cash bucks. Let's start another prediction. Boxer versus Robot. 2 minutes on the betting window. It's up. Go, Alutier. Sell, sell, sell.
So, DJ Combo is... his gimmick is more about the intricacies of the combo system of Killer Instinct. Because he's actually very hard to combo break as a result. Which might not matter to the computer, because it's
It's the fucking computer.
the computer cheats.
It's gonna cheat against
Otherwise,
himself.
he's a traditional rushdown character who gets in your face and constantly tries to mix you up. He's a boxer. That's what he does.
Boxers. What he does.
Arya, however, is a 3v3 character in a 1v1 game. You have 2 assists and 3 health bars.
Now, if any of those health bars, is it you lose a health bar, you lose
You lose that assist.
you lose that assist.
Outside of Instinct, yes. I believe Instinct brings them back temporarily. Though Instinct also has all of your health bars united at once, which means you can use all of your specials, even if that body is destroyed. If memory serves.
Yes.
It also means that all damage you take will be split across your health bars evenly, which is a double-edged sword. And so, potentially seeing what is feasible with Arya makes this character very fascinating to watch.
Alright, we're coming down to the line. Of course, my bet's on the boxer. This robot rubs me the wrong way. Just rubs me absolutely the wrong
What?
way.
Are you intimidated by a strong female robot?
I'm intimidated by a strong female robot. Alright, the betting window. Ready? Here we go!
Fight on.
TJ Combo's overcome a lot of
Got what it
stuff.
takes to beat the champ? Come on!
There we go, it's whooping time! And TJ Combo is getting the shit kicked out of him.
And as you can see, Arya's health bar looks very different. And frankly, is not fighting fair, and TJ Combo is struggling with this. This is what happens when you fight effectively your secondary antagonist in the first round.
This is true.
The only greater evil than Arya, in the context of Killer Instinct, is gargoyles.
Maybe sticking a dude without cybernetics in a ring with this robot was a bad idea. Look, he's here of his own volition.
And perhaps he shouldn't be.
Did CJ combo dish out damage? Yes. Is
However-
he dishing out damage? No, he'd have to stick a hit to get it done. Oh,
He
it's
also just-
coming. Here it is!
Always that way.
Oh. Can we
That was the most one-sided battle we've seen thus far.
get a mop? That was
Welcome.
That wasn't a fight. That was a murder. Robot moves on. Let's just not talk about it. Alright? I feel like we just shouldn't talk about it.
Probably better that way, yes.
Next up,
Shadow.
our evil Ryu. Versus a giant ass fucking pile of metal and rock. These two actually are really interesting, as
That they
Shadow
are.
Jago is not just the reverse of Jago. Shadow Jago is, in essence, his own character.
Indeed. So, while Jago is Ryu, just plain and simple. Shadow Jago is Dimitri. You have a teleport dash. You have a dive kick out of the teleport dash. You have an uppercut out of the teleport dash. You're constantly switching sides on your opponents, trying to keep them on their toes.
Alright, betting window is open.
Additionally, during Instinct, if you cross them up by dashing through them, you can spend their shadow meter on your EX attacks.
Which is pretty bullshit.
It is, but it's also... I believe it also goes the other way, but because Shadow Jago can burn meter at smaller increments, he can prevent the opponent from being able to use it to their advantage, which is fascinating.
Argos is a mighty glacier. He's a huge character who is insanely slow, but lays down some big hurt bombs. The problem is, if you've seen, everybody in this game is blisteringly fucking fast. It's like they stuck Potemkin from
Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear in this goddamn game, and we're like, fight. So what does an Argos do? Argos has the ability to cut the stage into a quarter of its normal size.
Or with a club that reaches half the stage's distance.
Or with a club that reaches half the stage as a distance. So what they gave him is the ability to hit he's like a zoner. They made a giant zoner. He's a very big dude, but he has the ability to bring you to him or bonk you from half the stage. My bucks are still on Jago. I think the speed is going to outdo our Colossus.
We'll see.
No, we're gonna. I mean, we stuck these two idiots in the arena. There's no coming back from this one. They signed the waiver. Nobody gets to leave now. Well, I mean, they can in a body bag. Here we go. Argonos. Who is, and we cannot express this enough, gigantic.
as you will see in just a moment, precisely how he scales up. But also Shadow Jago is Omen, imitating Jago's form and style.
Argonos, as you can see, is massive. He's just hitbox the character.
You really cannot jump over him, which for many characters would be a strong advantage. But you're against Shadow Jago, and Shadow Jago does not care where he is. He will just dash through.
He'll just decide to be somewhere else. Argo's trying to lay down the law. Unfortunately,
So
oh, please continue.
for a moment there, they were so currently if you saw the little flame around Artemis, that means that their meters were linked,
Okay.
which means I believe something we're trying to use some of Artemis meter, or vice versa.
Argos is really not leading into his gimmick at all.
Well, the problem with Argonos in that regard is you need a moment to actually gain the rocks, whether create the weapon or fortify your
Shadow
opponent.
Jago's not giving Argonos any fucking time.
Literally none.
He's up Argonos' ass like so fucking far. So Argonos can't use its move. And honestly, I don't know if you want to cut the stage down with this absolute psychopath in your midst.
Cool. At least Shadow Jago does not have a super command grab or tool. Shadow Jago acknowledges neither bliss nor pleasure.
Another one-sided ass beating.
It wasn't quite as
Ooh.
one-sided, but it was still rather one-sided.
Sorry, those of you who voted for the Colossus. Moving into the back half of the tournament, at least the preliminaries, we've got Eagle,
Oh. Bottom right.
hey look, it's Turok. Versus Tusk.
Ooh. This is a clash of styles. So
Take it
Eagle
away.
has a few. Eagle has a few gimmicks to his name. He has arrows he can fire for one, which are limited in quantity but need to pick up again, much like Maya. But you have. They're not as important to an extent in that you
The
don't have
betting
to
window
just two
is
of them.
open. Let your voices and money be heard.
But they're also less flexible. But you do use them for a lot of your pressure. Eagle also has a bird companion, which, frankly, in my prior testing, did not really get used very much.
No.
Which, as someone who has an archived loathing of video game birds, I approve of not embracing the bird.
Exactly.
So, do you recall what I said Mira has the second highest damage potential in the game?
Yes.
Tusk is the first. Tusk is the only character that has actual, practical 100 to death combos.
Phew, Jesus.
Tusk, so Shadow Jago embraces a lot of the Darkstalkers philosophy by being sort of Dimitri. Tusk has one of the system mechanics from Darkstalkers. He has the pursuit attack. You knock your opponent down, he can jump up and impale you before you wake up.
You know, like a bitch. He takes sucker shots at you.
indeed. Tusk has really good reach, and during Instinct, the reason he can do 100 death combos is because when he activates Instinct, he can chain his specials into each other. He becomes Hawkman. And like Hawkman from Blaze Blue, that's how he does his 100 death.
Murder. So we've got someone who has really good potential and who's really flexible versus someone who can literally hit you and kill you if all of the stars align.
Correct.
Alright. Let's see where the code bucks are going. Let's see who's got. And remember, we're rounding out to the end of the preliminaries. We're weeding out the weak and pathetic from our ranks. Here we go. Tusk versus Eagle. Eagle versus Tusk. Tusk with his nips out.
Well, that's certainly not terms of service friendly. Eagle is also the brother, I believe, of
Thunder?
Chief Thunder, yes.
Eons have tempered my blade.
Also, Tusk is immortal, by the way.
Tusk is in fact immortal.
He's actually just lived since the Viking Age.
Yep, there we go. There's
Hey.
the pursuit.
As per Switch, also you'll notice that Tusk's blade is constantly heating up, which will increase the damage of his sword attacks. But also has to maintain that aggression. So Tusk is in some ways a heavy tempo-based character. He can maintain his aggression, he can tear you apart before you have a chance to do it.
Really working those arrows. Tusk, however, waiting it out. Applying pressure pretty heavily.
Eagle should have better pressure. Eagle should have better pressure. His arrow cancels should allow him. Oh, he's locked. He's locked out.
Oh, combo breaker! And Tusk does not give a solitary shit.
His arrows and his bird mean nothing when Tusk has faced the threat of Ras Velga. And lived to see the day. Was that a bit too hyper of a reference?
That's way highbrow. Sir, this is AI dogfighting. Oh shit!
Well, at least this is a fight.
This is in fact a fight.
I was worried after the past couple. Oh no!
Oh! Sneaky cheating out of it. Eagle's putting up a fight. Eagle came to play.
Also, you notice that Tusk is very heavy. As much as he can maintain tempo and aggression.
Ooh.
In order to actually get
Speaking
in,
of tempo and aggression,
you get. Oh!
just fucking exert sounds.
Death comes to all.
Just fucking clobbered.
Except me.
That's what happens when you do not That's something you do not break a combo in Killer Instinct.
That
least
is
against
what
Tusk.
happens when you do not break a combo. Oh! Tusk was not the favored in that. Alright, Tusk. Now we're gonna play a character who appears twice, but not.
Ah.
Yes. But
Light
not,
or dark?
but not her versus her.
Hisako.
Ah, so. Normally.
Normal Hisako
Hello,
versus
Sophie.
my
I'm
boy,
doing alright. What about you?
your boy,
This will be very interesting.
Cinder.
So.
Hisako's a ghost, isn't she?
Hisako is in fact a ghost, and you are effectively living out the fantasy of a Japanese ghost movie when you play Hisako. You have very awkward movements, you're constantly trying to pressure your opponent from a distance with hands and projectiles. You can teleport behind them at a moment's notice, and you can have unsettling grabs when you're in melee range.
Might be swimming, might take a little rest, so you might be swimming here for a moment, for a second. Okay.
Alright. Just as
Alright,
much rest
see?
as you need.
Take as much rest as you need, and here we go. The betting window is open. Cinder's a stinky, big old flaming character. He was originally built as the counterpart to Glacius. Cinder's got good rushdown. He's got some fireballs. I do not know what his gimmick is.
He is built around traps. He places his flaming. He places fireballs just at random points, not really random, but at various points with the match to prevent his opponent from really either advancing or give them a place where he can just utilize his incredible mobility to lock them down with brutality. And welcome, Ash. How are you doing today?
Ash, my honey, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the fight night.
And so betting is currently up if you wish to either have your faith in the ring / the grudge.
Or a fucking fire monster.
Or a fire monster.
In the original game, Cinder is built as a countermeasure to Glacius.
The Fight Night's been
Thank
going.
you for the lurk.
It's been a bit hit and miss, mostly because there have been some matches that have just been complete shutouts. Our boxer was actually just shut down by
A robot.
just without a fight.
Ooh. And nobody gives a shit about this fight.
Perhaps people are simply too afraid to bet wrong
This is true.
when you're dealing with a ghost story.
Oh, I hated every moment of that.
I would not want to be you today.
As you can see already, Cinder busting out his mobility. Oh, that was disgusting. That was gross. That was needlessly gross.
I think it was very needfully gross.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like any part of it.
I love all of it. Because she fulfills the fantasy perfectly. You have
It really, really does.
it's so hard to pull that off. Visual.
Oh, it's disgusting.
And what the way that it feels visceral and like you are a cursed entity spreading that pain and that curse and there's a just oh no, lockout.
She is relentless.
Relentless and everything she does just
Oh! Holy shit! That was awesome! That was awesome! Even
That was-
I'm getting hyped.
Hisako's animations are really just 60% of what makes this character marvelous. Come on, you have a problem.
Cinder's really trying, but Hisako really controlled that first match. Oh, they're gonna be on even footing now.
So as you can see,
Ooh!
Cinder really tries to have these
Fire
deadly
bomb.
fireballs.
Oh god, that push onto it is just... It does it for me.
It's really the sort of thing you would see in a Japanese ghost movie.
Combo breaker! Combo breaker!
She's thought this was locked.
Same
I thought this was
combo.
locked now. So, as you see, Cinder really gets the much better combo damage.
Saku's dropping some hurt bombs when they go in, though.
Indeed, but Hisako's really more of a grappler in a way, which is fascinating. It's a very avant-garde grappler. But because you're a grappler, now that Cinder's actually staying a bit more in the air and pressure a bit more, Cinder actually to avoid all the dangerous parts.
Here it is.
But here we are.
Is it here?
Is it? Ah, no ultra combo.
You weak sauce.
Ah, Lord have mercy.
I'm very sad. I'm very
Because
sad.
Hisako was very satisfying. You want to see more?
I wanted to see the ghost do more ghost shit.
Well, perhaps if we play Killer Instinct ourselves, eventually
Well,
we'll get to see more.
You know
proper
what?
Hisako.
I tell you what. Let's let her have a second shot. Only
no.
different.
No. Oh, alright, fine. If
Yeah.
you want to have a... Fair enough. So this is Shin
Hisako's
Hisako.
up.
This is the redemption arc in more ways than one.
Versus Gargos.
Oh, she's fighting the main antagonist. This is going to go very one-sided, one way or the other. So, Shin Hisako can set these orbs, which she can then use to either teleport to them. She's mostly just teleport to them. So you can use them to set up any sort of mix-up or aggression out of just on a whim, effectively. But she's much less of a horror film this time. She's more just a spectral warrior. Gargos, however, is very temper-oriented, and if he gets enough of a lead to summon his little minions, the game might be over.
The betting window is open. Open, I tell you. So Hisako has lost her complete horror nonsense for just being a more spectral, more spectral warrior.
Lore-wise, this Hisako is no longer a being of vengeance. She has reclaimed her father's sword,
Okay.
and thus fights for family legacy.
Okay. Interesting too that Killer Instinct actually has the same character twice-ish.
That occurs twice, with Hisako and Omen.
That's true.
Because Shadow Jago is not Jago, it is Omen. And
1 minute left.
this would be interesting to see
So one way
if...
or another, this is gonna be a beatdown.
Almost definitely, because if... As we've seen from, at least from personal testing, if Gargos is not able to get his minions out, he actually struggles to maintain a lead.
He does do that. I do remember that.
But as someone who... I've seen what Gargos can do in proper hands.
Yeah.
And those minions shut you out of the game.
Things are gonna be going rough. So someone's gonna end up getting plowed here. Whether it be Gargos because he can't get his shit together, or Shin Hisako because Gargos
because he
get
can.
his shit together. That's a big sword.
That it is. because I was, as some of her familiar moves, I believe all of the really fun horror things. There's a minion.
And it just walks forwards nicely.
But it means to take 2 hits before they die, and it seems they managed to.
Watch for us. Ooh, Gargo's getting a minion out. Sako though, really keeping up and keeping pressure on.
Which is very important. It might be a bit more difficult once he gets.
Oh, Gargo's with a fucking psycho crusher.
He is the villain,
Here's the villain.
and now he has super armor.
Now he has super arm. Holy shit.
But if you notice, his instinct to meter just decays very, very swiftly. So as deadly as just super armor on everything is, it's also very deadly.
This is getting rough. Ooh!
And so you can see precisely why Gargos is the villain.
Ooh!
So this is
The imagery they used for Hisaku is so good.
it really is.
Another
She's-
minion gets the table.
I believe she's the breakout favorite in this game.
Must be for her to have two versions.
With no legacy.
With no legacy. Here comes the super armor. What the
Because
super armor is going to do is Gargos just can't be interrupted outside of
Correct.
control.
correct. He does what he wants. And he has a minion out, which is dangerous. He's nearing to meet up with his second minion.
Oh, here we go.
Ah, but first one died.
Ooh. Hisaku's holding on to her own though.
He's
Oh! Fucking combo breaker!
Sako has no way to really address the
Psycho Crusher! Oh, she's giving him too much space.
indeed. It's precisely what he wants to be.
Then that's exactly where Gargos!
That was a much closer match than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a much greater sweep, one way or the other.
I really thought it was in testing, we saw Gargos get his shit pushed in.
Indeed.
Like there was no getting around that. No cash to pay out. No cash to pay out. So we'll just press the first button. Oh, 10 channel points were awarded to one person. Sorry, I hit the wrong button on that one.
Well, it didn't actually show. So Ash put in 10 points. Some people will just.
Someone put in 10 points and got a free 10 points.
It was Ash. Ash got refunded.
Oh, Ash got refunded. Nice.
There were
Alright.
no points. There were no points on the other side anyway.
Yeah.
So
Alright. Next up on our fight, it's another guest character.
General Ram, our traditional
General Ass Ram.
grappler, who was terrifying in our brief testing.
Where are you?
Versus.
Where are you? There we go. Conrad!
Oh, grappler versus grappler. Interesting.
Oh my god, that dude!
So, General Ram is effectively our proper grappler Zangief style character. He has immense grams, he has a super armor, he just lumbers towards you with no range and wants to stab you to death with a knife.
betting window is now open. Talk about the mummy.
Whereas Conrad actually is still a grappler in a different sense. He wants to prevent you from getting close, and then use long-range command grabs to keep you at maximum range. So, effectively, someone saw that Anakaris in Darkstalkers has this long-range command grab, and said, let's make that an entire character.
Let's make that
And they
entire
did.
character. I mean, it's true. And at the time, in Darkstalkers, Anakaris was the first time I'd ever seen that particular style of attack be used.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always very interesting, him and his little grabby hands. But here we're going to have General Ram from Gears of War, of all places, face off against the brutality that is a mummy. And we love our mummy.
Even if mummy tends to be low tier, if that was an indication.
If Darkstalkers was any indication, you cannot count out the low tier character. Might I point out Sasquatch's protagonist armor?
Well, Sasquatch is top tier.
Yes.
But Anaconix, when played properly, is still low tier. It would work so much harder with him. But also, the same applies in Marvel vs. Capcom. Anaconix is still low tier, though on paper.
On paper, he's supposed to be one of the best characters.
But unless you're a tool-assisted speedrun, you're not going to.
There's no way you're going to be able to pull it out. I remember someone saying, in order for you to play Anakaris correctly, you need to break your thumb. All right, here we go. Conrad's face freaks me out. This man just disturbs me.
You'll make a fine specimen.
Oh my god! The size difference!
Ram is very big. It's part of why he imitates the classic grappler fantasies.
Oh, Conrad whooping his ass with some bandages. General Ram not taking kindly to Conrad's bullshit. General Ram walking right into some disgusting crap.
It is very pesky, bruh.
So what's going on with General Ram's health bar right now?
That is potential damage. That means that Conrad has been pestering him with special moves that add. Effectively, a lot of it, instead of providing just raw chip damage, most chip damage in this game is instead potential damage. That white flashing health bar means if someone does a combo finisher, that white damage will become real damage. You notice it will also happen quite a bit just passively on Conrad for the moment.
General Ram coming in hot. Oh shit! General Ram hitting the floor.
Easy.
Ooh. General Ram getting a little bit bullied.
Grappler being just intimidated in the corner.
Ooh.
That's new.
That's a loop. That's a loop that you're not going to win, General Ram.
So now watch Conrad's health bar constantly accumulate potential damage while no one can see anything. So you might as well look at the health bar instead. So during Ram's instinct.
Shit.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. That was an interesting ending.
It almost seemed like Conrad would take this until just the instinct turnaround.
Pay it out to General Ram. Alright.
Where are we left?
We're left with one more fight, and then we go into break.
Alright.
And this fight is the two fighters that were trained by Brambo himself. Riptor, the Dino.
Miss a fight? I don't think we've seen. Oh right, no, she was a buy. Never mind.
Yeah, she was a buy.
That makes sense.
Riptor
Versus
Rash.
the Battletoad.
Dinosaur versus Toad.
The Riptor does not really have much of a gimmick other than a sort of crawling position
Yeah.
that lowers her hitbox dramatically.
All
Other than that, she's a very straightforward rushdown character who has fire breath.
Batting window is
Because that's
open.
fun.
Yes, who has fire breath? Whereas Rash is literally just a Battletoad.
So his grab is not a traditional bit of damage. He picks you up like you do in Battletoads. And then other than that, his moves are just eccentric. He has the Wrecking Ball with one hit of super armor. That's also just traumatizing for Damien Knight.
Yep, very.
And he has an 8-way dash with his tongue, for some reason.
I don't know, man. I'm getting Turbo Tunnel flashbacks.
He's a Battletoad. He does not abide by our peasant rules.
He really doesn't. And apparently when you play him, he's going to play... So I looked it up. When you play him in Killer Instinct, he plays like a beat-em-up character. So...
I believe he has auto combos, yes.
Yeah, he has auto combos. So he is just effectively a beat-em-up character that's been dropped into a fighting game. Whereas Riptor is a straight-up fucking rushdown dinosaur. And has been since the beginning of the series, as Riptor was one of the original characters ever put in. Just got back and you voted Dino? Dino versus Toad. Toad versus Dino. What you gonna do? That's a song I sang about fighting a fucking dinosaur. But again, when you see
However,
this Battletoad fight, it's gonna be weird.
However, I feel that this is a lot of fight. There's a lot of references in this match as a whole because we're sort of playing turbo tunnels and dinosaurs.
We're kind of playing Turbo Tunnels and Dinosaurs, so here we go.
Is that better or worse than Cadillacs?
No, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs will always be the greatest fucking thing ever. Here we go. Cybernetically enhanced Raptor. Let's see if she's got what it takes.
I'm crashing this party.
Here we go. Riptor coming in with fire.
They had too much fun making Rash.
They really did. A big bad boot.
Just all of his animations are straight from
Like
Battletoads.
just Battletoads animation. And then of course that we have no idea why he does it, but our boy humps occasionally.
I think it's a taunt. I don't even know it's a taunt. Perhaps I'm just too respectful.
Everybody else is just too nice to be taunting. There's the 8-way dash. Oh, and as Rash gets more beat up, he gets more pixelated.
It's just way too much love.
Way way too much love in this battlefield. There we go. Down for the count. Big old crazy boot. Rifter with a good old-fashioned throw, but Rash is up in here disrespecting basically everything about this game.
He's not here to win a tournament. He's here to be a battle.
Winning is here just to get battle code. Rifter going for the shoe.
He's here to show you why he's better than the Ninja Turtle.
Pretty much. And that's all that matters. Ooh. Is
We
this
are
it?
ending this on. So we are ending this on Turbo Tunnels and Dinosaurs.
Is this it?
He really summoned this.
Ultra combo!
These cameos are killing me.
That is certainly a way to end the first round.
half. Toad takes dinosaur. Alright. And we're gonna go ahead and move into the next part. We've finished up our entry. Now we're moving into the meat and potatoes of the fight. But first, it's break time.
Neat.
Welcome back, everybody. Did you hit the can? Did you get a snack? Did you get a snack while hitting the can? We don't judge here. But
Well, there are things we judge.
there are things we judge. Like if you order a $300 steak and order it well done. So that's the thing. But anyway, we've seen our original fighters. There are a few now that have gotten a buy. So when
Only
those
one's gotten a
come up-
buy. Only one's gotten a buy.
Idol got a buy as well.
Interesting.
Yep, Orchid and Idol both got buys.
And shouldn't they have...
The bracket reigns supreme.
Oh, hold on.
Alright, here we go. And we're actually going to be dealing with sister of Jago, Black Orchid herself. Versus did Fulgor get a buy as well?
Yes, which is weird.
Yeah, Fulgor
So we
got
had-
a buy as well. Alright, well. It's how the bracket turned out. It's how the bracket turned out. I just plugged in.
We trust the bracket.
We trust the bracket. Alright. Black Orchid versus motherfucking Kilgore! Alright. Run them through Orchid. I'll get the betting
Orchid
open.
is one of the simpler characters, being as most characters in season 1 were relatively simple and existed mostly to fill an archetype or just be a legacy character. So Orchid is rather well-rounded, honestly. Not as purely well-rounded as Jago, but you have every tool you really need,
The betting window is open!
and you have the very flavorful projectile of Hellcats.
Of Hellcats. This is true. And what can we say
Versus
about-
Kilgore, who is a zoner who must manage the heat on his chain
Hey,
guns,
Matham,
lest he turn into a melee range character. And welcome, Mathen. How are you doing
which
today?
we saw work out perfectly as the computer was able to balance both of those together, but also get in there and smack the absolute ever-loving shit
Out of
I s-
Omen.
out of Omen. I say that it was actually a good fight. But in the end, he did smack the ever-loving shit out of Omen.
Indeed.
Black Orchid, of course, who didn't have to fight in the first round.
Indeed.
So we have no idea how she's going to stack up against these fighters. But we do know that Kilgore proved himself to get here to this day. You know what? You know what, Kilgore? Kilgore's earned a non-rusty costume. Oh, never mind. He's rusty no matter what. He's rusty no matter what. I don't have the colors to make him not rusty. Oh well. MP3 is better for sound alerts.
I believe Wave is traditionally in more archaic format.
Yeah, Wave
Which
is going
is-
to be more archaic. Everything plugs and plays MP3 clips, and also when you're using Audacity to cut the clips down, it's easier to work in MP3.
MP3 was not always supported by everything, but due to the dominance of Apple in the music industry, it became.
Now it is.
There's really.
Target spotted.
Wave is only important if you're using a very, very old legacy program, I believe.
This should be quick.
But for sound alerts, I can tell you I use MP3 for everything, and here we go! Oh yes, that's right. And Orchid is known for those in Killer Instinct for her cartwheel
And the Hellcat.
and the help. With a big old Stinky boot to Orchid. Orchid putting the pressure on though.
Look at us.
Happy to be of service. There it is.
There's the fire cat.
Ooh. There's a fly throw. Oh, here he is. He's hot like your mom in a bikini. Oh shit. Orchid is handily taking Kilgore apart. Kilgore, come on. Don't be a bitch. My bucks would have been on Kilgore, but the fight's not over. Kilgore can still come back from this. He's gotta lay some hurt bombs on her though. Ooh. Kilgore working his zone into his weapon.
Well, the first thing to learn in any fighting game is that it's not over until the announcer says it is. Because you can always mount an impossible comeback.
Yeah. But poor
Even with this
Kilgore
even with
is
this
in the
army of
fucking-
fight.
is in the fucking corner. And that's all.
He might die to
throw.
Chip. He could die to Chip.
He is going to die.
One step closer to flushing out Ultra Tech.
And Orchid just
Whooped his ass.
denied him even his footing.
The jingle plays, the money comes out. Those of you who voted on Orchid, congratulations, you're gonna get a big old stick payout. Those of you
High
who
five,
voted
Martham.
stick you on Golden Mommy? Alright. So there we go. Orchid moves on. Kilgore eats shit. Next up we have Maya versus the Arbiter.
Ah, yes. Maya now has an opportunity to avenge her sister's murder. See, the plot comes together either way.
The plot comes together either way. Maya, where are you? There you go.
So both these are very tempo-based characters. In different ways, which is fascinating. Because the Arbiter, once he gets a hit in, demands respect, due to the sticky grenade primarily. In which case, you have to... Because you can't just be in mid-combo, because if you detonate mid-combo, then suddenly the tables turn.
Yep. Alright, betting window is open.
Whereas Maya can utilize her thrown daggers to have just full momentum, even without having to get it hit in the first
When
place.
we first fought, we saw the Arbiter put up a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maya did another good fight. You know, it's not like we were getting into Chief Thunder territory, who effectively dismantled his opponent on a cellular level. So though both of these fighters earned what they got. They earned what they came to take.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to throw them in a ring together and see who beats the shit out of who. My bucks? If I had code bucks, and I have lots of them, but if I was allowed to bet my code bucks, I would probably go with the Arbiter over Maya. The Arbiter doesn't... I mean, the Arbiter has his gimmicks, but he doesn't rely on a specific gimmick like Maya does. Maya relies on those dagger gimmick, and we saw what happened to poor Eagle. But Maya did manage to squeak out her victory.
Well, it's also important to keep in mind that Eagle was not really utilizing his gimmicks at all.
This is true.
He did not call upon the power of the bird.
Thank
he
God,
just-
because I kick his ass out of the arena. Fucking birds. No birds.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you see this bird?
Fuck this bird.
Well, clearly Tusk agreed.
Clearly, Test agreed. We're getting to 5 seconds. Make your pay. Put your pay down. Get your bucks out. Get your bucks out. Here we go. Let's see him fight. My inner alternative costume, which I'm already regretting. 90s
That
was
it?
kind of cringe.
I have faced the flood and silenced truth.
A bit. It was a bit. Frankly, it was just more.
Douse your flame.
That might be. It was trying to be.
Watch out.
There was still a lot of 80s influence in the 90s,
Yeah,
at least the
there
early
was,
90s.
yeah.
You can see that very clearly with a lot of the retro outfits in Killer Instinct. You can feel that 80s influence. Though trying to something a little bit more practical. But
Ooh,
trying to have a bit more attitude to the color, I believe. Probably
Yeah,
better way
yeah.
of putting it. And you can see a lot of that with some of these outfits, particularly Maya's very full of unpractical attitude.
very much so. This is a slugfest.
Indeed, both these characters are very momentum based, and they're both trying to get it, but the combo breaker system is really preventing them.
I was born in the cringe, molded by Exo's Battle. Yeah, this energy sword doesn't even decent reach.
However, Maya has the anti-air, which is always
It doesn't
very
have
nice.
a-
Why are you doing the combo here? You're just burning your own instinct meter.
right? Awesome combo.
Well, I suppose she's building a shadow meter instead, which is valid in its own right.
The overshield got pulled out for a moment.
Yes, because you have to do instinct, which
Yeah.
during the duration of it will recharge periodically.
Maya with just a sliver of that good stuff.
And there's the overshield's gone already.
We're finally really getting to see these daggers come into play.
Indeed, because she doesn't really have much of a real. She doesn't mod very well against Jago.
No.
Because that was really just the traditional Footsies-based slugfest. Just good fighting games.
Oh god, Arbiter buffs off the shield and it is gone.
He can burn meter to activate the overshield or instinct.
Yeah.
He burned shadow meter for that one. And he's going to have to use it. So in a way, Arbiter's actually much more vulnerable than most characters are, and he's dead. He's blocked out. Can't combo break.
Here we go. Oh, but we,
Ah,
don't
but
get-
you-
we didn't
the-
get to see the good stuff.
Maya, how dare you! You were supposed to go for the
You're
flashy
not
ultra
worthy
combo.
prey.
You're not worthy prey. Damn, you feel you're not gonna win this one? Maya was the correct answer, everybody. Maya.
Indeed.
Next up, I'm just gonna, while we wait to put it up, I'm just gonna put up the betting right away. It's gonna be Chief Thunder. Who is it? Versus Glacius.
Well done, Ash and Martin, for a correct bet.
For a correct and proper bet. So, betting window is open. We've got Chief Thunder coming out like a brutal thing that comes out. I say that Chief Thunder went absolutely bug shit.
So Thunder is, for those who did not see him before, is sort of a long-range heavy character who has strong grapplers attached, though he is meant to be our grappling character at the time. Ultimately, Ram is the more traditional grappler, so this is Grappler versus Zona, a classic and sacred matchup. And this can go either way.
So when
If Glacius can keep Thunder out,
if he can keep Thunder out, he's fine. But if Thunder comes in, it was just command grab after command grab after command grab. It was like just Thunder threw his opponent around and just slammed him on his head like a thing that gets slammed on their head. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. But we're gonna see who's gonna take it. Is it gonna be our ice monster? Do you think it'll be our ice monster? Or do you think it'll be our chief?
it could really. Yeah, it's hard to predict
It really is. This one, I don't know where I would put my cash box.
because some matchups you can tell where there's slight advantages when you know what how the characters function and what their weaknesses are. Here, it's the question is who will get to play their game plan. One of them will get to play Killer Instinct. The other one will probably be dropped out without really, very unceremoniously,
Yeah.
quite frankly.
Yeah.
They will probably drop with not a bang but a whimper.
Ignite the moment.
Here we go.
Alexis, why are you getting close?
Wow. This is just backing up.
He started walking toward Thunder though, which was very surprising.
Ooh. Zoning Thunder out. Ooh. Not a lot happening on Thunder's side of it. God damn.
So Glacius, it seems round one was Glacius getting to play the zoning game, but it seems currently now it might be Thunder's turn.
Ooh.
Emphasis on might.
Strong emphasis on that. Glacius is really... Oh, got Dawsoned on that one. Well, Chief Thunder's doing a good job of breaking these combos, but not a good job of dealing anything out on his own.
He's still losing out on every damage drain. It's dedicated to such risky maneuvers, and it's just not working out. Any
He really just... He went from annihilating his previous foe to getting just shit mixed.
Well, to be fair, part of that could be that Saberwolf has to get close in the first place, which means you're getting... If you have to play Rushdown against a command grab oriented character, and you are not utilizing the maximum range that you have available to you, you're going to get spinning pile drive it.
You are gonna get spinning pile driver. There's no getting
That's just-
around that one.
And if you're not fighting at range against the grappler,
Ice Monster takes
that's
it.
on you.
Next is Spinal versus Arya. Let's get it started up.
Skeleton Pirate with teleports versus Robot embodiment of Marvel vs. Capcom.
So is it gonna be the skeleton or the robot? We had an interesting fight with Spinal. There's my pirate boy. Giving these 10 robots in this house. Boo! Or yay! I really am of two minds on this one. 1 minute on the betting window. There's not much we can say about these. I mean, Arya kicked the absolute shit out of the person she was fighting, and
Indeed, we really were not able to see any of Arya's weaknesses in the entire match. You only saw what Arya does properly, which is win neutral. You have assists in neutral, and that means you're not playing fair.
pretty much. And Spinal, we got to see teleport around and absorb some shots. Took Kimmy's dragon and shoved it down her throat. So that was always fun. But it was no supreme victory, unlike Arya, who got herself the supreme victory, which is...
Arya was 3 touches away from perfect.
Yep. Yep. I don't know if we'll see a perfect. Probably not. It's Killer Instinct.
Most likely not, it's Killer Instinct. You have to work so much harder for that.
You really, really have to. Like, you can't get tagged by anything. Alright, here we go. It's that big ass fucked up shield that gets me every time. This little tentacle shield. We're really feeling each other out, but Spinal's already losing when the screen is. Sorry, I used the word exchange. I meant folks.
So as you can clearly
Ooh,
see,
he's absorbing that shit though.
he's trying to.
Trying.
Ooh, that was a
That would have been brutal.
it was a good way to start an advance with that Shadow Punish. But in the end, just the way Arya works, just you have to have the tools to steal neutral away from a 3v3 character. Arya has assists. How do you steal neutral from Arya?
It's very brutal what's happening. Although this could turn around. Why don't they get his shit together and make it fucking...
Also, Arya could try to change bodies in a moment to save. There we are.
Yeah.
Arya trying to make sure that that body remains intact, sort of a different one.
Straight up abuse. Oh god, poor Spinal.
I feel like Arya's Blinker is really getting consistent combos going that aren't just getting immediately broken. And the lockout might be dead. Oh, the lockout broke away just in time.
You can see Spinal's palm has been damaged.
Instinct is active, all 3 bodies are together. The entire moveset is at her disposal, and she uses it to finish it.
The world cannot rely on you.
Someone get me a
Clean up on aisle 7.
Clean up on aisle. That's all she wrote.
It's looking very terrifying in this tournament.
Absolutely. Do we think we have our favor to win?
Look, every time we have a favorite to win, someone else comes out with plot armor.
This is true. Alright, those of you who chose Robot, congratulations.
Our tournament is literally the same system as your favorite member of Team Chaos.
Next up,
Demetrius has a surefire wit to win this tournament.
it's fucking soft.
Sasquatch comes out with the ultimate plot armor.
Alright, it's Idol versus Shadow Jago. You're gonna
Ooh.
have to explain this.
Oh, that's... This will be fun. Alright, so Shadow Jago, some of you have seen before, being effectively Dimitri from Darkstalkers. He has teleport dashes, and he has traditional shifter tools on top of this. He can also steal his opponent's meter to an extent. So he is very mobile, he dashes around frequently and does shenanigans, effectively. Idle, however, is a two-headed ogre, which is a very unique take on a stance character. On one hand, you have a brutal, heavy character with monstrous physical combos and good range. The other head is a mage who just truly keeps you at a controlled distance with lightning magic. However, this is a stance character where your stances are not controlled. You swap between them randomly after certain attacks. The heads are not in sync, they are battling one another, and that is how the fantasy is fulfilled. The only way you can control it is that you actually punch the other head to try and force a transformation manually, but it does hurt you in the process.
But you can punch the other head.
You can punch the other head to try to wake it up, yes.
I do like that. Wake up, stupid. Pow! But yes, you will take some damage in the process.
And it's not guaranteed. It's a
No.
chance.
No, you just might sucker punch yourself for no reason. Now, did we see that in our testing? No, the heads just kind of did what they did. But again, the AI doesn't tend to fight itself. Coming in. We've got it. Here we go.
So here we have two very interesting characters within the confines of this game. One that is so much more mobile than than virtually anything in the game other than maybe Mira and Sadia. Shadow Jago's mobility is absurd. Versus Idle, who is unlike anything else you'll experience in any other fighting game.
And one head has gone to sleep already. We're in ogre form.
And status shift, we're in mage form.
You can tell which form is which by the mace. If the mace is purple, we're dealing with magic. If it's red, we're dealing with a whooping.
So you can see the full range, and now he's getting closer. There's also a slight pause in the entire game to give both players the ability to be ready to adapt. Additionally, that little meter above Idle's Shadow... Oh, Instinct! Both heads active
Both
at
heads
once.
are active. Whole moveset.
The entire moveset, which is completely wild, and if Shadow Jago can continue this combo for a while, he can burn more of Idle's Instinct and mitigate the time that both heads are active, which is very, very important for Idle.
Alright, we're back. Bruiser. Ooh, shadow counter into a reversal.
Lockout! Oh, but he didn't... Oh, there was no real punishment there.
Ooh, remounting a brutal assault. But
I think it's
Shadow
also-
Jago is full of bullshit.
Shadow Jago is low profile. The lightning is disgusting. Also, I think that's the most cinematic. I think it's the most cinematic move we've seen.
Done. Idle got rocked.
Idle did, in fact, thoroughly get shot out.
Shadow Jago takes it.
To be fair, Ash, it was a good bet. Idle was the original final boss of Killer Instinct.
So much so, and each of the bosses in Killer Instinct at the time had a gimmick. Idols, I think you had to hit him with a specific, I think it was like a heavy move, whereas Gargus, you had to knock off the stage after beating him with an uppercut.
Well, they actually thoroughly redesigned him when he became playable. The three bosses of Killer Instinct all are thoroughly unfair by design
Yes.
in a way that makes them very unique to play and play against. Idol, Gargos, and Aria are all thoroughly absurd characters.
Next up, we've got Tusk versus Cinder. Oh, that'll be a fun one.
That'll be very fun. Because if you can learn Idol, Idol is terrifying. It's
Well-
just... Really, I think the thing that really warped this matchup was Senna Jago's ability to low-profile the lightning.
Yeah.
And Idol just never
Betting
went with
is
the ground
open.
lightning.
Betting is open.
For some reason, Idol never went for the ground lightning. They could have actually controlled Shadow Jago much better. But
Look at this stupid outfit. But
yes, some people like armor.
get your beard back, bro. Cinder, of course, was fast, figgity fast.
He also lays slowly detonating fire bombs on you. Whereas Tusk is just...
Cinder looking like a Ben 10 character.
Tusk is damage the character.
Yup. And as we saw,
He-
Tusk just beat the shit out of poor Eagle.
Indeed, there was
Just beat the absolute shit out of him. Like, that was... There are some fights where you're like, oh, god damn. That was an oh, goddamn fight. That boy got clocked.
I think it was the second most just one-sided fight we had after Aria vs TJ combo.
Yeah, Arya versus TJ. Should have given him his costume where he still had his cybernetics, man. The little meat pokers aren't going to do very much against fucking, you know...
The CEO of Ultratech.
The CEO of Ultratech. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Alright, we're coming into the last 10 seconds. Here we go. Get down now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Someone's getting their ass kicked.
It's always a good day to be Tusk, Cinder. You're not aware.
Tempered my blade.
This is true. Tusk's got a Killer Instinct gold on the 64. Oh my god. Tusk taking command of this fight real fucking early. And I mean real fucking early.
Tusk is... This is why I said Tusk is damage the character. 'Cause his moves are notably slow. You can really see everything he's doing, but he punishes you or gets any real clean hit, you're going to feel it. And it's...
Cinder got clocked. Here we go. Come on, buddy. Cinder refusing to get out of the corner. He lives there now. Ooh,
That's...
sneaking the fuck out.
It's also interesting to note the difference between Cinder's fire bombs and Arbiter's plasma blades. Cinder's bombs will be they will dissipate if you...
Lay down a bit of a smack on it.
If you hit Cinder, the bombs dissipate. Arbiter, it doesn't matter if he's mid-combat, the plasma grenade is on you and it will detonate no matter what's happening to the Arbiter.
They're going to go off. Tusk is just pushing Cinder into a fucking corner and laying into it. Cinder is doing his goddamn best to mount an offensive, and he is getting through, but I don't know if there's any way he can make up this deficit.
He has to somehow gain complete control of this because he has very little in his bank account.
Oh, shit. And it looks like he's overdrawn from the ass whipping thing.
Death comes to all. Except me.
Atka's come for his interest.
That was rough to watch. That was rough to watch.
It was actually satisfying to see someone actually try to fight back against Tusk
It was.
after being cornered, because Eagle just laid down and died.
So here we go. Two characters that whoop the shit out of their enemies. Is Ram versus Gargos.
This might be very interesting, because Super Armor should... I don't believe Super Armor will apply to command grabs, which means Gargos' greatest ability to stabilize a poorly developing match might not work at all against Ram.
Might not have anything. Might not be able to put any mustard on that hotted dog. Man, now I want a sandwich. Alright. I mean, what can we really say? We've seen it. Everybody who's here
We have.
thus far has seen this go down. They know what we're getting into. We're going to get a big flying fuck off gargoyle thing versus a giant fucking locust. And
So
they both hit
General
fucking hard.
General Ram is a traditional grappler. He wants to he is slow, he's lumbering, he has no ability to really close the gap, he has no range. He walks up to you, he grabs you, and also he tries to whittle you down with poison leading up to that point. Whereas Gargos is the final boss. He summons minions, he combos you from full screen. He wants to build up meter, and he just doesn't play fair. Or at least he wants to not play fair.
Douchebag.
But he requires resources to stop playing fair in the first place. And if he cannot get those resources, he will simply roll over and die.
He really will. But I'm wondering, you know, he put up a good shot. He put up a good show. He abused
He
both of
shot Khan Radan.
these- He beat that fucking mummy like a rented mule. There was no getting around that at all.
Khan almost did rather well, but it's just that final round, once Ram had instinct,
Yeah.
it was over.
It was done,
Just drop the curtain. Exit stage left.
right? So let's see whose code bucks are gonna get consumed by the void, and whose code bucks get to go home. Look at Gargos' belly button. Look at it, belly button.
To your god.
Feeling each other out. Ram getting some good hits in. Oh yeah, that's right. Gargos is able to yeet himself out of the ledge. Not that General Ram seems to give a solitary shit. Here we go, our first minion.
Minions active in the and Ram is cornered. This might be very, very bad for him. He also does not have the range with which to actually hit that minion and really steal this match back. Look, there it goes. It's down. He has meter. And as you can see, the minion can actually break.
Super armor! Not really making good use of it, but super armor. He's just punishing Ram for trying to hide in a corner.
Alright,
Out comes
instinct.
the poison.
The bat poison is now in effect.
Oh, with a poke
And-
to the stomach. The poison is still going.
One good command grab could actually end this. Or at least end this life bar. Oh, but lockout. things are suddenly very evil again. And Gargos has no minion active.
No minion action.
Should put this in Ram's favor.
Ram, so Gargos has a damage. Yeah, Gargos has a damage advantage, but Ram could turn it around with some big hits.
His instinct is getting back up there.
Ram is closing the gap here.
Right, he has instinct. Gargos has a minion and super
Yeah,
armor.
that's the Gears of War guy. That is the Gears of War guy. He's punishing Ram again for trying to turtle. There's
He has
the
both
other
minions
minion.
out. He has both pain and panic.
Oh, I see what you mean by once those two minions come out, shit gets fucked. And a brutal
He didn't.
drop on
He
the
did
head.
not block. He did not block in the end. That's precisely how Gargos works. You set up your two. You try to get the shadow meter for your two minions. You try to lock them down, and then if they try to just teleport and close the gap, you activate instinct. So your super armor, you can just put
Who
them
voted
right back
for
in the corner.
God?
Deal.
There you go.
Congratulations, Steve.
Congratulations. I hope it was worth it. Kragos moves on, and now, of course, we're at the bottom of this one, moving into my boy, your boy, the boy, Fulgor. So remember when we said Kilgore was a prototype?
Fulgor.
This is what the full model looks like. A cybernetic brain housed inside of a brutal murder factory of a body. Fulgor's got some rush, he's got some range, he's got a really good kit.
He also has a very interesting gimmick, and welcome back, son. And the Battletoad.
And
So,
you
Stupid.
must be... Oh, thank you. You must be the Battletoad.
and so the question. So, we've seen what the Battletoad does. He has all of his animations from Battletoads.
That's our open.
He is a beat 'em up character, whereas Fulgor actually has a unique meter. He has a reactor instead of shadow meter.
That's the
And
first
so
time you've ever
he
heard
has
anyone
to-
call me stupid?
So in order for Fulgor to get meter, he cannot just hit, but he gets. As he hits his opponent, his reactor will speed up and generate meter faster. But as it builds up, he also will not need to just. He will generate meter passively rather than needing to actively just wait. His hits don't necessarily need to hit once he actually had those initial hits.
Yes. So what happens when this radiation meter gets up there? This reactor.
He will be able to build meter and use his shadow abilities frequently,
There we go.
very terrifyingly.
If I remember correctly, Fulgor also has a chest laser.
Yes, he does. He has a Shoto moveset and chest laser, because of course he would.
Because of course he would. That's just how life goes when you're a giant cyborg. Also, interestingly enough, and this is just neither here nor there, but Fulgor's original sound effect were pig squeals sped up. Yeah.
I think I'm good to know.
Yeah, isn't it? Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna put Rash in his default outfit. Oh wait, we're gonna put him in his retro costume because he wasn't in there before. And here we go. Toad versus Robot. Oh, and you can go invisible.
Indeed. Let's crash the party.
I'm crashing this party.
Oh God!
Immediate throw.
And there's that rush down.
His reactor speeding up.
Big old stinky boot, but Rash is just running right into the Fulgor once. Oh! That super armor, really putting that super armor to good use.
Ooh, that.
That's not good. Fulgor is in full power.
However, Rash has super armor and he can go right through those
Rash
lasers.
has super armor. And, is
And now
using it.
the reactor's slowed down now. But then right back to the ground.
Oh shit!
Oh!
But they're teleporting into a big fuck you! That's what we like. Oh god! That fucking grab. I would not want to be a battle zone. Combo breaker.
To be fair,
Ooh.
after Turbo you wouldn't want to be a Battletoad any day.
Holy shit, this has turned into a slugfest. Ooh.
Lockout.
Here we go. Will Rash be able to pull this back?
Oh, Lord, this is uncomfortable. Oh!
Ooh. Taking it
That-
to the very end.
That truly came down to the wire.
That came down to the very wire. Fulgor taking a commanding lead only to have Rash blast him with a fucking car.
And he almost stole the entire match.
Alright. Who said robot? Robot
Steel
wins.
did.
Alright. Robot moves on. That's it. We're moving in. Ooh, we're moving into the quarters.
Indeed.
Black Orchid versus Maya, Glacius versus Arya, Shadow Jago versus Tusk, and Gargos versus Fulgor.
Oh.
The first one is Orchid versus Maya. Still got 2 minutes on the clock. Pretty soon we might, I was gonna say, towards the last we might just go down to a minute. Once
Yeah.
we get to the very end, if you don't know who you're grabbing, you clearly have not picked your pony. Alright. Orchid. In Orchid's
So-
original costume.
Buy a cat with heart written along the side of it.
Along the side of it, yeah. And Maya.
Whoop. And my Amazonian queen.
Who gets her cool costume back. You have back what you started the game with? Nice. Lay 'em out. Who's gonna win? You have the bones, the nutsack to vote. Bet on these nuts.
We're not playing that game today, Demi.
Oh, that's
So you do still have the high score.
I do still have the D's Nuts high score. It's because nobody's brave enough to face me in it. They all know that I win. That's all I do is win. Well, except for when I'm betting. But I would
Or
have
playing
bet,
Darkstalkers.
or Darkstalkers. I would have bet on Robot though. Fulgor has a really good kit. But I did not anticipate to almost, you know, lose that bet. Here, I'm gonna put my cash box on Orchid. Yeah, I'm gonna put my code box on Orchid. Orchid really puts up a lot of pressure. It doesn't require any other gimmick in order to do it.
But at the same time, you cannot deny that Maya's gimmick goes very, very far.
It does, but she doesn't have hot written on the side.
Target spotted.
You really
This should be quick.
go very far when you're dealing with just very uncomfortable green latex.
Watch out.
Very
You might
true.
get cut.
This was cringe even back in the day.
He is not comfortable, you know.
Yeah. You need baby powder in that thing. Oh, this is not as much of a pressure system as I thought it was gonna be. Orc and Maya are really even in as far as
But Maya no longer has the daggers. She threw them very, very. However, into the corner wouldn't likely give Maya the daggers back.
Ooh. There it is. There's Orchid pushing you into a corner. Orchid crossing up to try and keep the daggers out of Maya's hands. This is really interesting to see. Orchid, ooh, locked out. Oh shit! Orchid with the no you.
Orchid has instinct. This could be over in just a moment. You saw how those Firecats shut down Kilgore.
Oh, absolutely. They wiped Kilgore off the map.
Orchid is not embraced instinct yet. Waiting until the final round, perhaps? Make sure she gets the most of it? Let's find out. What does she have? Yeah, she has instinct. She just
She does have instinct, she's just choosing not to use it. I don't think we're gonna see it.
we didn't do not CPC instance today.
We'll not be seeing it. You know what we will be seeing?
Okay, now to take this one.
Ultra combo!
One step closer to flushing out Ultra Tech.
We love to see it. Even with that horrible latex, she manages to take it. Orchid taking it. Orchid moving on. Glacius versus Arya. This one is gonna be interesting. Robot versus Ice Monster.
Robot versus Ice Monster indeed.
1 minute on the clock this time. Speeding it up, folks. Arya's done nothing but kick the shit out of everything that moves.
But so is Glacius.
But so is Glacius.
Glacius shut down Thunder with not even a whimper. It was a silent grave.
Alright, here we go. Get him in. 30 seconds left. Get your bets in, folks. Ice Monster versus Robot versus Ice Monster. Who do you believe in? Who do you not believe in? Maybe
Assist
1 minute was
versus-
too much. It's too little. I don't know. I don't see anybody complaining about it though. Or maybe nobody wants to bet because they don't know where it's gonna go.
Oh, because we've not seen either of these fighters really show weakness.
No, we really haven't. Alright. Who's gonna blink? And that's really what this is gonna come down to. Who blinks first?
Here we are. The CEO versus Melty Alien.
Versus Melty Alien. Arya playing pretty defensively. And by defensively, I mean blocking a bunch.
At least we know that Arya's block does work, and it's not just shit glitch.
Ooh. That 3-hit uppercut. They're really trading paint over here.
Yeah, they need to swap up bodies at the moment. Willingly or otherwise.
Arya's losing out on these exchanges though.
Arya needs to hard tag.
Ooh, the ice armor comes out.
I don't know. That's the first time Arya's lost a body.
Arya has in fact lost a body. Lacey is still doing fine. Ooh, blocking it, coming. Ooh, combo breaker. Ultroning the shit out of this. Ooh, she went in for the shadow, got fucked. Repulsor blast the clock. Which might actually be what gets this back on track.
See? Oh,
Ooh.
grabbing out of the shadow. That's
That's just some disrespect.
that is gutsy. I respect it.
Radius is chipping away at Arya. I wouldn't say dismantling. More of a hard scouring.
It's closer than the health really implies,
Yeah.
but a lot of it was that Glaciers controlled the start of the match very
Ice
well.
armor.
It stole one body, which in classic Trinity fashion, once you lose one assist, things start to deteriorate like again.
Repulsor blast up in here. Oh, one body left.
Alright.
Here we go.
Arya's now at her weakest.
That
But-
shadow attack is so brutal. Glacius in danger.
But then the other is didn't get
Ooh,
punished.
Ooh. Will this take it?
Oh.
Will this take it? Will this take it? Oh!
Oh.
It's back with an uppercut!
There we go. That,
That's a fucking fight! That's a fight!
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Killer Instinct.
No predictions, but Ice Monster takes it. You would not be able to know. Alright. Next up. Shadow Jago.
Shadow.
versus Tusk.
Oh.
This,
no.
this is going to be an interesting one.
These are
Damage
also
to-
fighters that really. These are two fighters that also did not really show any weakness, which makes this very fascinating.
They really did not. So let's go put it. Let's get a minute on the clock in just a moment. We're gonna throw it up. We're gonna throw it out. Shadow Jago versus Tusk. 1 minute on the clock. Betting window is open. Get in, get in, get in. Get your bets in. Do it, do it, do it now. Shadow Jago really has not shown any weakness, you are right. And also has shown that whenever he gets tired or tuckered or whatever, he can just shout "fuck you" really, really loud and run away.
Shadow Jago is mobility incarnate for the most part. He has such freedom of teleporting that it's rather absurd, while also having just a very well-rounded toolkit to make that mobility just feel satisfying.
Yeah.
Tusk, on the other hand, is just damage. So it's mobility versus damage. If Tusk touches you, you're going to probably lose half of your health.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even
done.
ignore you. Doesn't matter if you combo break it or not. You're going to get hit. It's going to hurt, and you're going to cry.
And also, this may be the only other character who can get Shadow Jago. Shadow Jago may be the only person who can get out of Tusk's just absolute
Tempo.
maiden masher. of
His
an
absolute,
attack.
his momentum is. Once he gets momentum, you really cannot escape from Tusk's
Nope.
just gargantuan strength. But Shadow Jago might be able to actually do that in steal momentum, even if he struggles at first.
Here we go.
Eons have tempered my blade.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Quite literally a legend, even.
Literally a legend. And Shadow Jago just coming in on Tusk hard.
So you'll see just all of Shadow Jago's mobility
Shadow Jago's Tusk can't really get a good hit on him
outside of the pursuit attacks,
outside of the pursuit attack.
which still does.
But those will do you just an ass kicking of a damage.
But you're not seeing Tusk's just disgusting damage up. But now that he has instinct, we're probably going to see. Look at that! Look at how swiftly
Yeah.
damage was equalized as soon as Tusk utilized instinct. As soon as he got to utilize that real damage of his.
Oh, geez. Unstoppable. Unflappable. These two are not. These two are working at their own pace. The problem is that you would think that Shadow Jago would get, that Tusk would get stomped out, but he's handling. His patience is paying off.
He only did really touch Shadow Jago twice to truly steal that health bar.
Yeah. That was one hit. One anti-air.
Exactly. Tusk does damage.
Oh god.
Shadow Jago was very lucky that he was. Shadow Jago was very lucky that he was already grounded. That attack did not connect.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! And Jago
I'm
pours it on at the end. That was impressive.
Incredibly.
I wouldn't have expected Shadow Jago poured it on right at the end. Found a little burst of speed. Alright. Next up. This will be an interesting match. Gargos versus Fulgor.
That is quite an interesting match indeed.
Alright, let's get it up. Alright, Gargos versus Fulgor. This will be an interesting matchup. Gargos has shown like the ability to do some pretty impressive bursts. We got to see what happens when you do not answer his little stabby boy. It was not great.
Fulgor does have the range and mobility to do so. So it might not be quite as bad as it was for Ram. It's all hard to accept it. Or burn me to just try to actually
Right?
fight back.
Minute on the
Against.
clock, let's go. Gargos versus our boy.
Who's a bias that way?
A little bit. Also in his classic costume. I never liked Gargos, right? I had to play against him. I would win, and then I'd have to find a way to uppercut his ass. Does that seem right to you? Does that seem fair to you?
Yes.
Wow. But I think you could only kill Idol with a combo. There was some bullshit. They all had some bullshit attached to them. Alright, coming down to the wire. Here we go. Classic Fulgor. I think I like the tiny, chubby one.
I think that one was Pei. In,
Chubby one's pain.
but I'm thinking in terms of Disney's Hercules.
Ah. So these two are laying into each other, but it's a lot more even than the shouty voices would make it seem. Ooh, but here comes that super armor.
Wow, Gargos is still down on health. But he has... I believe it was Panic.
Ooh,
Memory serves from Hercules, that one was Panic.
that one
Be
was
wrong.
panic. Ooh,
Alright,
mounted
round one.
defensive.
round one Fulgor.
Gargos still has a good, it's that drop. Always gets them. Fulgor rebooted and back in action, taking care of Panic. Trying to charge up for a bit of a drill, not getting anywhere.
Struggling
Ooh,
to get
combo
those.
breaker. Ooh,
Ooh, but the call out on the teleport! Ooh,
denying.
it was a cheeky attempt on Fulgor's part, but... Ooh, but the logout... Ah,
Extreme, here we go. Super armor. Panic out. And Gargos is just going to just hammer on you while his minions come and do the thing. This still could be anybody's match, and I say
I
that,
mean-
and I'm a lying sack of shit. Here we go. This
It
is what
could've
we
been-
love to see,
It could have been anybody's match, but it was Gargos.
but it was Gargos' match. And in the back, we see Argos. God damn.
So, that leaves us with... Orchid.
Gargos takes it.
So Shenjigo will be against Gargos.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Alright. Gargos moves on to Shadow Jago. Here it is! We're in the semis!
We are down to the final ball.
Down to the final four. Orchid versus Glacius. And Shadow Jago versus Gargos. This is it! This is all she wrote.
3 more bets.
3 more bets. So, Black Orchid versus Glacius, what can we say? What can we honestly say? Orchid's got good mobility, she's fast, and she's got those fucking cats. But Glacius has been playing poke, poke, keep away, eat shit uppercut for a while now. And it's been working. It has been working. So, Ice Monster versus Orchid. 1 minute on the clock. It's all come down to these last last 3 bets.
Indeed.
Are you gonna get that VIP? Or are you gonna go home and defeat in sorrow like you deserve?
No one's betting nearly large enough so to get a guaranteed VIP.
This is true. This is true. Alright. Had to do a quick checking. Yeah, no? Alright. 15 seconds left, chaps. Now they're going to be in the costumes I like the most.
Well, I'm glad you're not a fan of the latex.
Wasn't a fan of the latex even back then.
But when I was bidding on it, it was not very hot. At least not in the way that we want.
That's not the way that they wanted.
Uncomfortably sweaty, perhaps.
Oh, very much so.
Target spotted.
I'll take weird titty armor. That I'll take.
This should be quick.
Yeah, let's hope you think that. But I'm not 100% sure. Here we go. Orchid getting in a little bit of a tap. Nope. Oop. I see a tiny bit of damage.
Well,
They're really just
Orchid is
poking
not
at
as
each other.
Orchid is not as tempo oriented as Glacius' other opponents would be.
Yeah.
Because Orchid might actually handle what Glacius is for.
Ooh, she's going
Because
in for the
Arian-
uppercut.
Arya needed to maintain thorough momentum to have all of her assists for the entire match.
Yeah.
To steal it. And she was not able to do so. She Thunder needs to get in the appropriate range. And Glacius kept him mid-screen the entire time.
Pretty much the whole time. Lacey is applying. I won't even say. There they go. Here are the cats. I won't. There they are. Just coming in hot.
Whereas here you are seeing that Orchid more fight than most fire opponents.
Combo
It's-
finisher.
Glacius is just...
This is just. He went from poke, poke, poke to applying massive amounts of pressure.
And now here's the armor.
House armor.
Those uppercuts of his are very punishable. Yeah. Well, I suppose with the ice, with the armor they're not.
Yeah. Ooh! Shadow
And,
countering.
and Orchid is...
Oh my god, we're seeing it! We're seeing it! Here we go! This is what we love! The utter disrespect! An ultra combo finish. A supreme victory. The Taco Bell has left the building. Surprising,
then-
absolutely no one Glacius moves on.
Shadow Jago versus Gargos.
And then Gargos in my favorite Gargos costume, which is this. I love it. It's good stuff.
It does feel far more intimidating with the modern design.
It really, really does. So let's go pay it out to the ice monster. Alright, start prediction. Shadow Jago versus Gargos. 1 minute on the clock. Repeat, 1 minute on the clock. The betting window is open. Throw your code bucks in. Throw them now. Gargos. We've seen it. We just saw it again. Gargos has got his super armor. He's got his minions. He's not Psycho Crushing as much, but nobody seems to look up and maybe block when he vanishes into a big fuck off portal in the sky. That's kind of a thing that you sort of maybe possibly wanted to be careful about. But
Vertical Psycho Crusher.
vertical Psycho Crusher. And Shadow Jago just zips up zoobity bop. Took out damage to the character. And now we're going to see if that same kind of mobility can overcome Gargos. And I'm thinking my code bucks are on Shadow Jago. My full bucks are for Jago to win. And that's the truth, because Damie said so.
I am highly biased here. Because in Killer Instinct, I made Shadow Jago.
Yep.
On the bright side,
To your god.
at least everyone can see why I like Shadow Jago so much.
Ooh, Gargos can fly and is in fact his own anti-air. I forgot about that.
Look at this shenanigans. It's so much fun to do.
Shadow Jago's busting out no overture all over the place.
The lockout into the grab. He has the meter for a minion. Use it for Psycho Crusher instead.
Psycho Crusher.
Welcome's over. You arrived at the end. Well, this is the second. This is the second to last fight. The fights have been highly entertaining. Even when they're one-sided, they're very
Ooh!
entertaining.
And fucking Gargos using that super armor to shut Jago's bullshit down. Out
And
comes
we have-
the minion.
Out comes Panic.
Ooh!
And-
what a punch to the fucking face! This battle is far from fucking determined, though. Far from determined. Shadow
Gargos has no.
Jago just-
Gargos has no resources, no instinct. But now he has some Shadow Meter. So he needs to utilize that Shadow Meter to try to gain momentum from Shadow Jago.
Here we go, a minion.
There's Panic.
Panic coming out. Shadow Jago. Ah, there we go. They're trying to range him, but Shadow Jago's like, no, guess what? I gotta fucking slide. Oh, and he tries and fucking fails. No one has an answer for this Gargos bullshit. No one has an answer. Oh, someone actually
Standing
blocked.
still works! Standing still is the answer. He's mistiming the anti-air repeatedly.
Ooh! Super armor coming. This is the first time we've seen him use super armor. Into. Oh my god, that super armor is getting a workout. And
And
there you go. There you go. Here it is. Here it is, folks. An ass whooping and a half.
welcome to the finals. It is a Zona's paradise.
The only thing that got Gargos out of that was super armor. Without that super armor, he would have ate so much shit at the end.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our finals. Ice Gargos versus Stone Gargos. Pick your points.
Before I put a minute on the clock, let's take a moment to reflect. Ice Monster versus a god.
Aria
Fire
lost.
lost.
Aria lost to Glacius. It was a close match,
It was a close
but
match.
but Aria lost one of her assists rather early and just could not muster the advantage required to conquer Glacius.
The Forgotten Grotto will be a fine place for them to battle. In the end, Gargos' repeated use of his little zony punches, his vertical Psycho Crusher, and at the end, you know, I've got to say that super armor came in clutch. These are tools of a champion, but when we look at Glacius, right? He's got his super armor, he's got his Pokepokes, he's got his little ice balls. You would think that this does not equal a truly brutal contender, but Glacius has proven over and over again that he has one thing that these other fighters don't have, and that is patience. He has the patience to zone, he has the patience and the wisdom to know when to ice ball, and that ice armor is hella useful. Now we're gonna see ice armor versus just straight up super armor. This one's gonna be interesting. Is Gargos going to be able to take this from Glacius? Like one would assume a god would stomp an ice monster in the ground. Or is Glacius going to make Gargos eat shit like he's made everybody else eat shit? Let's get that prediction up. Ice Monster versus a god.
The two non-terrestrial beings now fighting for supremacy in our
1
corner.
minute on the clock.
This is our final bet, ladies and gentlemen. Make it count.
Go big or eat ass.
Both fighters fight somewhat similarly. They're both zoners that like to utilize very absurd range and have access to super armor during instinct.
They really do. And that super armor has put in the work for both of them. In the last one, we always saw Gargos bust out super armor and then sit back and punchy. The last time we saw what happens when when Gargos busts the super armor and someone is stupid enough to get in his face, it's ass whooping o'clock. Shadow Jago would have had this if not for that super armor.
Alright.
The Battle of the G's.
I'm glad that we're seeing some large amount of code bucks flying for this finale.
Here he is, making his entrance into the ring. A motherfucking god!
47,000 code bucks are on the line for this final match.
Yeah, that's what's up. And Glacius is coming in.
I
Love
think
to
if
see it.
if Gargos wins this bet, I think Luis can afford.
Coveted
oh.
VIP.
Actually, not quite. That's all he has. He's gonna be very close.
These two are trying to zone each other out.
So Luis or Steel will be broke after today.
Ooh!
Shadow was not invulnerable. Very interesting.
There it comes! The ice armor! There it goes! The ice armor! The classic
that
3.
Was that plus? Or was Gargos just too respectful?
Gargos was too respectful. In a battle of zoners, Glacius is zoning exactly nothing. Oh shit, we may have our answer. Glacius needs to find some answers to some questions here. As Gargos is only asking one question, and that is, who is your daddy? Brutal combo breaker, but Glacius is in a corner. Here comes the ice armor.
Lockout.
Basically combo. Into the super armor. Oh my god. Gargos just eating that fucking 3-hit uppercut like it's a delicious fucking meal.
And man grab.
Ooh.
Right, well, we are going. He is taking that health bar. But then
And that's
the
it.
vertical,
No ultra
vertical Psycho
combo.
Crusher.
Vertical Psycho Crusher. Boom. That's it. Eat shit. No ultra combo. The ace is Grace. And Gargos is a lot more.
And so Luis takes home 47,000 code bucks.
Luis. In the question of an ice monster versus a god, you have chosen correctly. A god has won. Enjoy your code bucks. Enjoy your victory. The fighters have come. They have fought for your amusement. We actually thought that this might not be able to fill the time we prepared another game. We don't need it.
We do not need it.
We do not need it. Here you go, folks. Killer Instinct. We love to see it, which is good because my, although I found out Injustice 2 fights itself, so I may have to spend $10 on that.
Perhaps.
At some point. But
Perhaps.
this has been Killer Instinct. How do you feel about this? When we first did this, we thought it'd be too fast. We wouldn't be able to commentate on it. It was blisteringly fast, but we were able to commentate on it.
Well, I at least knew enough about the game that I knew I could keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I did think this would be very fast and we would probably need some additional time for it, but it seems it actually filled the time rather nicely.
It filled the time rather nicely. We always got to remember that there's so much that goes into the first round.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that goes into the first round. Seas would rise when I gave the world. Now in morning I sleep alone. Yes. Yes. Weep for me. This was a game and a half.
Indeed, it was.
That we rocked out today. It was blisteringly fast. It was really enjoyable to watch. And it was, again, really fun to showcase this game. This game was built in the F in chat for Steel. Injustice is a good one. We may have to have the superheroes beat the shit out of each other. It really depends, though, on Game Pass how much of the Injustice roster I get. If you don't get the full roster, at least 3/4 of the full roster, it's gonna not be that great. Because Injustice's true claim to fame was the size of the roster at the end. Just the sheer... Is Mortal Kombat... Is that the Mortal Kombat... Yeah. I think it's in Mortal Kombat 10 that you can make a custom character. Possibly. Oh, whichever had the campaign, it was 9?
If you mean in terms of... So the custom variations were in 11.
Yeah.
But I think custom characters was Armageddon on the PS2.
Yeah, that was Armageddon. That's the one that had the campaign mode. How did you feel about seeing them fight for your amusement, Alutier? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
I wish Abjago showed up properly against Gargos.
We all wish he would have showed up properly against Gargos. That would have been ideal.
Hello, Pep. You've missed Killer Instinct.
Hello, Pep. Howdy, Pep. How you doing, Pep? So that was Killer Instinct as always. It was fun to showcase a game that people might not normally play. I strongly suggest it. Killer Instinct rewards a lot of muscle memory as well.
Killer Instinct is, I think, no matter how you slice it, the most underrated fighting game.
I can get behind that.
Because it had everything it needed to succeed, but the only reason it failed to do so was because it was an Xbox exclusive. On the it was a console exclusive on new generation of consoles.
It was on the new gen, and it became an Xbox exclusive. Even its rotating free to play, here's X amount of characters that you can play to begin with. You can buy up the new characters as they come out. Even that was a fun little roster runner that they did. You know, you buy the definitive edition, you get all the characters, you get the stages, you get all the stuff. It was worth it. If you were a fan of Killer Instinct, it was and still is just Killer fucking Instinct, only prettier. Everything from the ground up, as me and Alutier were talking about when we were running tests for this, has been made with absolute love and attention to detail for the original. That little jingle that I kept playing at the end, I'm not pressing any buttons other than just going up and down. The menu makes music.
They have the dynamic soundtrack, yes.
Yep, they have a dynamic soundtrack.
Because Mick Gordon is a wizard.
Gordon is a wizard. In the end, when we were able to just get in there, get down to brass butt tacks, you know, it was a good game that unfortunately was hampered by its Xbox exclusivity, because Xbox is not where the fighting games went. They ended up on the PlayStation, but Xbox snapped it up, and it did the best that it could. It was a good app for it, but
the IP was already owned by Xbox because they owned Rare.
Exactly, but the IP was already owned because they owned Rare. So there was really no getting around it.
If they did a new Killer Instinct and actually had it on both Xbox and PC, I think it would succeed quite well.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that it would. And Game Pass has helped revitalize it as well.
Indeed.
Which is really...
It's also on Steam, which is fun.
It's also on Steam, which is also really fun. But Let's figure out who we're giving the love to. Should we go give it to Bob or Ashmole? Zeba? Zeba doesn't need us. Let's actually let the people vote.
Those are the people vote.
Elitier, this was truly just an absolute joy.
Indeed.
Once again,
And
to sit in this booth with you and share.
should we tell the people what next month's fight night
Yeah,
will be?
please take it away. It's going to be a fun one.
So next month's fight night will be a retrospective of some of the earliest ones we did. We'll be looking back at old SNES fighting games and just doing a marathon of them.
So
We'll have Street Fighter 2, we'll have
Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'll have Gundam, and perhaps some other surprises.
perhaps a few other, if we can dig into our bag of tricks.
I think those are our three biggest ones. Those are the three from the SNES that I think we had the most fun with.
Yeah. We also had a lot of fun with, here you go. 2 minutes on the clock. Feel free to vote. Lewis, you have great taste in virtual capes. Great taste in virtual capes. The one wrestling game that was in Japanese that nobody understood a word of, that was also really fun to watch, though.
It
Because
was.
for a Super
and
Nintendo game, it was really dynamic as far as the moves went.
But it's also a case where it's not one of the things that you just say, oh, that Japanese wrestling game. No one's going to be like, yes, I know what you're talking about. If you say Street Fighter or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or even Gundam, even if they don't know the fighting game itself, people know Gundam and they'll get excited for Gundam.
They will get excited for Gundam. Alright, let's see. We've got one vote for 8-Bit. One vote for Ashmole. Steel, you want to comment? Steel. Your absolute spirit of hype is what makes this shit worth it. It makes all the effort we go through, the fact that it takes about 10 minutes to set up a bracket because of all the wheel and the typing and the... I actually had this set up beforehand. It was truly beautiful.
Also, can I point out that
Steel wants another
Just how-
compliment. Hold on. Steel! Your continued support makes these fights worth it. Yes, please go ahead, Alatier.
also keep in mind that with how hyped this moment was, that Damien and I were also just not running on excellent sleep today.
No, we really weren't.
And we
running
still
out.
could not withstand the sheer excitement for this game.
It really, I thought that I was going to be struggling. But we managed to hype our butts up. Oh shit, it's Ash Malay getting our love. So let us...
As she deserves.
As she deserves. So let me mute everybody else. Because I'm going to want to hear Ash Malay's beauty voice when we come a raiding in. But let me set up the raid machine. But with that, in the booth today, I've been Damie, your dynamically augmented media independence here at Damie_not_robot, and I will be back at 2:30 tomorrow to unbox a surprise special guest.
I have been Alatier.
Battle Booty Raid! This has been Shannon. Yes, Battle Booty Raid for those of you who've got the emotes. If you don't, send hearts or some other character's ass. I don't care. Battle Booty Raid. Go give Ash Malay love. We've been your commentators. This has been Shannon. And I will see you tomorrow.